going on, everybody? It's Top Bets. We're checking back in. We have some technical difficulties as we started off the show. My Dell docking station basically stopped working for all of my USB cords and cables, so it's hard to hear me. I apologize. I was in crisis mode for about 30 minutes there trying to figure it out, Googling everything. So let me know in the comments if it gets too bad. Where I'm a little bit staticky or whatnot. You get a different angle of me. You can see my big ass nose, so that'll be fun tonight. But yeah, we are back at it as always with my man Bet with the Boys, aka Teaser Nation. Fresh off his first outright of the season, absolutely nailed Scottie Scheffler. He was actually looking great early on because he had Willie Z and Scottie Scheffler. So he was in a really, really good position all weekend long. How we feeling tonight, Teaser?
Good, man. It was finally nice to, hit the first one of the year. I knew it had to be a favorite at some point. I got that DK boost up to 9-1 on Scheffler. So, it was a good hit. The putter looks like the new putter actually looks like it's worked for him. So he'll probably, carry that into this week. But no, I'm looking forward to this week. I'll be down there Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be walking around for the weekend. So it'll be a good time.
We got boots on the ground, all right. So make sure you guys are in tune. We got boots on the ground. So as always, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Our views on YouTube have gone up every single week, which is awesome to see. We did have that 200 view spike, which is pretty cool. But we're usually around 50 to 60. Nothing to brag about, but it's nice that we just we get on here and talk some golf every Tuesday night, and you guys seem to enjoy it. So we appreciate you guys tuning in each and every night. If you guys are just showing up first time, we appreciate it. But we will go over some outright bets, some placements that we are eyeing up, and then talk over some tournament matchups and some round one matchups as well, and see if there's any other props that we like for the Players Championship. As always, this is considered the 5th major on the PGA Tour, so really, really enjoy this particular tournament. You got 144 players, so a little bit stepped up from the designated event or signature event that it was last week over at the Arnold Palmer. And then we had the infamous 17th, right? Where the par 3 where I would hit in the water 15 times in a row for sure. Yeah. So you're gonna be at 17 like all day, right? Are you walking?
I might try to walk around a bit, but it'll probably be packed at 17. But I don't know how it's like laid out really because I've never really been on the course, so we'll see if it's you can maneuver. But
we'll see. We shall see. All right. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys throw those in the chat. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'll talk over some one and dones as well. Basically, who we're liking, who we're trying to fade and avoid. Like Tommy Fleetwood last week, we should have faded, but my God, that was bad. I was on him too much, and I'm like, what am I doing? After he shot that, was it 12 or 10? And I'm like, all right, this guy's cashed. Like it just was all-time bad performance from him, Fitzpatrick, and Morikawa. That first 2 days, we were like, oh boy, this is not going to be a good tournament. Ended up being because you hit that Scottie Scheffler, and we hit some round matchups. And then throughout, I actually had a Homa and Willie Z top 20s that ended up paying out really nice. So overall, it was actually a plus tournament. The round matchups, I'm telling you got me hooked on them, Teaser, and they are phenomenal. I love them. I'm officially addicted to them.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like a nice little. You get a sweat for 4 hours, and then you cash or you lose. Like you're always in it till the end. So, mostly. But
all right, so let's dive into the Players Championship. What should we know about the course? What should we know about the player attributes to kind of hammer for all these guys this week? What do we got?
First, I'll start off by saying I might be on Fleetwood this week.
Oh shit!
It's hard. Like we always talk about, like that 1 week, some guy, let's get right back on him. I mean, it's hard not to because I think he leads everyone in strokes gained total here. I think he's like 32 overall strokes gained total. Obviously, he's played here a lot, but he's good. But just a side note there. But anyways, the breakdown of the course. I think par 72, Bermuda greens, obviously Florida. It's one of those Pete Dye courses. It's going to be a positional course, so it's going to be kind of lay up on a lot of tee shots, not a lot of drivers that you really need out there, mainly on the par fives that you really need it. So longer hitters don't really have an advantage here. We've seen kind of like every type of player win. Elite approach game and short game will be good. Just like the last few years, obviously we've seen Scheffler last year, Cam Smith the year before, and JT. They all won with approach and short game around the greens. Obviously, I think there's 17 holes with water on the hole, and then green sign bunkers are a big thing here too, and a lot of fairway bunkers as well that kind of go down the fairway. So just a little bit about the course history. I pulled out the top 10 course history. So these are just 10 guys that predominantly play well here, but I will say this is the 1 week where I wouldn't go too heavy because it's kind of like the Honda Classic in a way. There's a lot of volatility. If there's a guy telling you they know what's going to happen, they don't, because there's a lot too much going on, and we've seen it year after year. There's a couple guys that play well, but then there's a lot of damage and volatility on each hole. So I would just be careful with the units and stuff like that. But just top 10 course history, JT coming at 1, Hovland, surprisingly, Homa, Scheffler, Fleetwood, Jason Day, Justin Rose, Siwoo Kim. And then really just course comps, like I said, strategic positional tee shots, penalizing bad approach shots and tricky runoffs around the green. And then there was a couple courses. The one thing that does stay true is the Sony Open, which was pretty interesting. 4 of the last 7 winners of that tournament are players champions. So the second, tourney of the year that they have in Hawaii, we've seen Siwoo win there, Matsuyama, Henley's played well there, who I'll get into kind of later. And then Sedgefield that they have in North Carolina in August. That's another one that's surprisingly kind of a good course comp. It's kind of like the leaderboard stays the same throughout. So really just the key stats this week. Obviously off the tee will be a big thing. Fairway percentage, strokes gain approach, and then birdies are better because obviously you still do have to score out here. The winner's probably going to be mid-teens, I would say. So
yeah,
if the wind is at a kind of minimum, if it's 30 to 40, then we could see more of carnage, but it really all depends on the weather.
So with all that, who are you eyeing for some there's nothing official, right? But who's standing out right now as some good value for some outrights, or are you looking heavy favorites here?
Yeah, for outrights, I was looking more top 20 right now, but for outrights, if I dive in, obviously I don't think Scheffler's I wouldn't touch him this week. I think last week was where he's at 5 to 1 right now. Yeah. Obviously you can get him 8 to 1, but I mean I got him last week, so I'm content with that. Rory, I think I'm gonna stay off of still. He's not too sharp right now. If we're going down the board, I would say I probably would start my card around JT or Hovland. I think they're kind of interchangeable here. I probably lead. I thought JT was a little better here. Everyone knows he won 3 years ago when he came from behind. He made the cut on the number and he came back and had a great weekend. But he has a T60, T33, T35, 11th and a 3rd and a win. So I don't know. He's one of those guys, though, it kind of fits his eye with, the type of shots you need to hit around here. And then Hovland, the elite approach game. So those are 2 I would kind of start with. And then this guy I don't want to be on him, but the 40 to 1 Sam Burns is it's kind of 40 to 1's kind of a little high in my opinion.
That's a good high number there for Burns. Let's see what he's done here.
I like the number. I haven't seen what he's done here. I just know he's been playing pretty decent golf.
Yeah, he has. miscut 26th and 35th. But I think he's playing the best golf of his career right now. I think so.
Yeah, he came. Actually, I didn't even know he came T30 at Arnold Palmer. He must have went like 10 over the last day. I know he started with a triple, but I thought he finished better.
I had home over Burns in round 4, and that was a cakewalk.
Yeah, that was
somehow, some way Burns just shit down his leg.
Yeah, so that's the problem. It's like on a Sunday, it's like I have 40-1. He'll be tied for second, and then I got to get the outright. So he's in those majors, like I did on stream. I got it wrong on the fade because I guess a T30 is, I guess, okay. But we just saw what happens with him in majors or a signature event. He crumbles on a Sunday. So
yeah, and I would say that the JT Hovland are pretty good pillars to go around for DFS. I mean, Hovland's going. It's crazy because DFS, you got Scheffler at 37%. He's going to be probably pushing 40 plus when it's all said and done, maybe even go to the 50 plus range. He's at 12.8 on DK. Absolutely insane. But well warranted. Guys should, I mean, if you want to bet anything, bet his top 5 plus 140. Go do that. But like if anything, maybe just hammer him, put him as a pillar in some of those round matchups and go from there. But yeah, Hovland coming in at 18%, and JT is coming in right now at 11%. And I think that's mostly because he's the 3rd highest or the 4th highest golfer. And that's more price point there than anything, because if you squeeze in Scottie, you're more than likely not going to get to JT. But I think we, in the DFS landscape, I think we go ahead and fade Scottie. If you do play Scottie, play him with some long shots that we'll discuss here later on. And then with Thomas, or if not, save some money and pillar with Thomas and Hovland and play 2 of the 10K instead of paying up for the 12.8 in Scottie. So I think it's a good matchup there, or good strategy there. Another guy that I'm going to discuss who's playing phenomenal golf right now. You saw Burns at 40-1. How about Shane Lowry 40-1 with 2 top 5 finishes in a row?
Yep.
He's gotten an 8th or last 3 years, an 8th, 13th, and then a 35th. So trending the wrong way. But I think the way that the man is off the tee, unbelievable. And then his strokes gained total, I mean, he's been absolutely on fire. So I really, really like, especially if there is some wind, right? I always kind of tend to Tommy Fleetwood, but Lowry and Fleetwood are basically my go-to guys for wind conditions, which I don't know off the top of my head just yet. But this was that tournament, was it 2 years ago, where it was an absolute disaster with the PM AM. If you had anybody in the AM or PM, you absolutely got screwed. So make sure we pay attention to the wind on the DFS landscape for sure.
Yeah, I was going to mention Lowry too. It's I obviously wouldn't touch an outright. I think top 20 is where you need to be with him. But yeah, that's strictly off. He loves Florida golf. I mean, we've seen it the last 2 weeks. But the same thing with him on a Sunday. I mean, there's not even worth. You just know going into Sunday. Obviously, he was in a group with Scheffler. I was like, this guy has no shot at winning. So It's like you knew he had no shot.
I feel like a lot of people have to have that same confidence every time you go up against him.
Right. Now, and that's another guy too I wanted to talk about was Russell Henley. I was on him at the Honda, and he finished, or the Cognizant, whatever it is now, 41st. Didn't have a great week, although he had a T4 last week. But what kind of scares me is like all of the strokes gained he's been getting is on the putter. So I don't know if it's like he really only gained not even a half a shot approach wise. So, and he gained 2 last week putting wise. So maybe the putter keeps running hot, but I don't mind Russell Henley here. He has pretty good finishes here, T19 and a T13 last 2 years. So one guy who's been kind of coming in hot as well, recent form.
Just one guy it's Russell Henley I was watching. He just rubbed me the wrong way that he was whatever he was doing on Saturday and Sunday. He was just like, everyone was just, I feel like more, I don't know, relaxed. And this guy is just like focused out of his mind. And just like super, super into it and then still struggling. So I don't know why it was like, I was like, man, this guy just needs to take a chill pill and just play some damn golf. But he was
Right.
like all into it. I don't know. It just, I was watching. I'm like, man, Henley's like super serious right now. He doesn't need to be at all.
He did look tense.
Everyone else, Scottie Scheffler, just making putts and throwing their putters around and doing all that stuff. So that was just one observation on Henley. But another guy that I like this week, we are going to go. I think I'm going to go back to the well on Max Homa, and I don't know why I wouldn't, because he plays this course very, very well. His top 20 again, plus 125. He was plus 100 last week. I think he came in at a 13th and a 6th 2 years in a row here, and then his recent form, 16th at Genesis and 8th at Arnold Palmer. Again, a guy that you would probably play on the West Coast, but he loves himself some Florida golf as well this year, especially this tournament. I think Homa is a good pivot too if you're playing some DFS. But I would start with JT and then probably go with Hovland and then Homa. What do you think about, man, this guy? I always get wrong. Always get wrong. What about Morikawa this week?
He's not playing any type of inspiring golf right now, so I could potentially see him doing one of his things where he goes like 7 under on a Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him shoot a 7 under on Thursday and then just crumble on the weekend again, like he usually does. But I'm not really going to touch him this week. He's obviously been pretty subpar, I guess, this year so far, I would say, to his standards or where he wants to be right now. So,
yeah, I mean, miscut last week obviously was horrible. Around the green and putting, he was horrible.
That's what scares me. That's what you need around here, yeah.
And that's what I feel like his iron play makes up for a lot of that around the green and putting, because he can get it so close. But he also has got a 14th at Pebble Beach, a 19th at Genesis. So it's not like he's playing bad. It's just like when he's off, he's completely off. It's like you have to just take a flyer. You just got to trust yourself and say, yeah, I'm playing Morikawa this week, or I'm going to give myself every reason not to play him. So in this case, I'm probably only going to play him in high-risk lineups and DFS and probably stay away from it all the way in the betting markets. Unless he shows me something Thursday, Friday, where I can maybe get a good matchup, maybe a good number on him in a round matchup. But very, very tough to trust Morikawa coming off of that particular outing. But like we said before, it's always good to go back to the people. But in this case, it was just that bad of a showing that it's like you said, it's uninspiring, and I don't know how much trust I have in him. But I think he's coming in surprisingly 14%, but that's solely because he's 9,400. So it's a good value play there at 14%. But I think that would I think that's one of those guys that ends up declining in ownership as the week goes, by Thursday as we lock it up. So that's what I'm thinking there. What anybody else you're seeing before we get some long shots, some guys that we think have a chance that are what are they, like plus 8,000 or more?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I saw Finau at 60 to 1 somewhere. That was crazy, but I don't really like him, obviously. But it's crazy he's all the way down there.
Yeah, he's 55 to 1, but he's been wolf this year, hasn't
he? Yeah, he's been not too bad, but I mean, yeah, pretty bad. But I don't know. There's a couple guys like way long shots. I don't know about outright, but I mean Billy Horschel and Steven Jaeger for placements, I would say.
You were going with Billy last week, right? Or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was last week. Yeah.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah.
At Cognizant, yeah. Yeah, I mean, those two guys, I don't know if I would really go anyone else per se in a deep field like this, but I see Fitzpatrick too. I'm done with him.
Man,
I can't. That's one guy.
I just skimmed over that. I was like 65 to 1 for Fitzpatrick. What the hell?
I can't with him. I try not to be biased and stuff, but that one, I'm done betting. I really am done betting him unless in a major maybe. Like a U.S. Open. That's it.
Yeah.
That's completely it. Last week was horrendous. Like he was horrible. I've never seen like him play that bad, and it was a good fit for him, but I don't think he's where he should be. But honestly, I think my one fade or two fades is Cantley probably. Once again, he didn't play well last week. We all know about his East Coast type woes sometimes. Xander, he's been a mixed bag here. I think he has like 2 top 10s, but he has like 3 cuts missed in a row here.
Yeah.
So with those two guys, it's tricky because with Cantley, I'm not confident at all in him to play well here. But Xander, he's been very inconsistent, which is kind of weird. But
Xander was, I think I remember him being on him in 22, like heavy, and that's when he got the shit draw.
Yeah, that's unfair to him, but yeah,
I remember doing the stream with you and being like, "Oh yeah, he's coming off 2 missed cuts, but this guy is absolutely playing out of his mind right now, and he's going to absolutely kill it." And then boom, we got the absolute worst position. Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, I'm such a damn idiot." But then he played well. He got top 20 here last year, so
yeah,
gaining 6. I mean, off the tee, he was horrific, -3, 3 strokes there, but around the green, he gained 4.5. So, I mean, just the way he's playing right now, let's see. I mean, 3rd, 9th, 54th, 4th, and 25th. I mean, the guy is absolutely so consistent. It's just he's never going to win you a tournament ever. Mm-hmm. So, take him top 20 and be done with it. Take him top 20, move on, and maybe play some matchups here and there. That's how I feel about Xander. What do you think of some Wyndham Clark? Guy has been playing some hit or miss golf. He's either right in the final group or missing the cut, it feels like. And what do you think about him?
Let me see what he's done here.
The reason why I ask is because he's 9,700 on DK. So, and he's coming in sub 10%, and he just was basically 4th or 3rd or something like that. And he's played this course. He's missed the cut twice, and I think he's got like a top 40 here.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean he's a different player than he was obviously a couple years ago. So it's hard to look at that. Like if we look at recent form, obviously cut at Genesis, Arnold Palmer 2. He's really been inconsistent since last year. I would say like he had those 2 wins, and he'll have like a 66, a 33rd, stuff like. So he's coming off a cut in a second. I don't know. I don't know how this course really fits him. He doesn't really have an advantage with his long hitting here abilities. So I don't know. I'm staying off of him. It's not like I'm fading him. He's just not going to make the card for me.
Yeah, and then one other guy I'm just looking at currently, we got Hideki, which has been playing some damn good golf. I was a little afraid. I was on his round 4 matchup, and I saw him warming up on the green or on the range, and the man was holding his wrist and forearm like he was done. So I'm like, oh, I should just cancel this bet ASAP. And then my dumb ass kept it, and he got his ass kicked by Russell Henley. So it wasn't fun. But I mean, you put any emphasis in that left arm for this week?
Yeah, that's why I never bet the guy, because it seems like you always see updates about his back, his like wrist, his whatever it is, and then he goes out and wins the Genesis. Like I don't get it. He's either hurt or the Sunday that was a unreal back 9 that he put together, even round in general. I mean, that's one of those like just
generational. That was crazy.
Yeah. But it's just like, is he actually hurt? That scares me. You see updates. Is he not hurt? So I just never know with him. So I'll lay off of him. But there was one guy I did want to talk about. I'm debating on doing my annual top 40 at the Sawgrass with this guy, and that's Brian Harmon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's just an annual thing. I think I've done it the past 3 years, I believe. 1 for 3 in that. I know he got tied for 3rd in 21, 63 and a 44th last 3 years. Really, it kind of every comp course he's done well at that I kind of point towards Sawgrass. Yeah, I mean, it kind of fits his eye. He likes Pete Dye courses as well. Something about him. The positional layups, obviously he doesn't hit the ball far, so he's not really at a disadvantage here. Kind of just plays game, stay in the fairways, and then uses short game to his advantage. So I don't know. I'd like him to bounce back this week. I think he plays pretty well here.
Yeah, and probably some couple outrights, some long shots that I'm looking at maybe for some DFS or some long shots or some long shot top 40s or whatnot. I guess I should ask you about this, but I think I still like Hoagie this week. You told me that last week, and I still took a matchup for him, and he hit for me.
I'm not gonna tell you to get off of him, but I've seen everybody on that man this week.
Really? Oh, I haven't seen much of it. I guess I haven't been scrolling though.
Everyone, it's because he plays so well here. He's at a 3rd, 33rd, 22nd, 30th, and he obviously this is a course he'd be good at, and everyone knows about it, so he's going to be pretty tipped. I saw Henley flying under the radar, so they're two guys that kind of play the same, like a little inconsistent. I think Henley's obviously a lot better, but I think that's a good pivot off of Hoagie. Henley, I know it's not the same range of DraftKings, but just in general for betting wise, Henley's plus 180 because I think Hoagie's going to get a little chalky this week just for like that underlying.
Doug Gim is a good long shot as well. Yeah. He's playing actually really, really good golf, plus having some good course history here. I got Harmon being one of those guys, and then Austin Eckroat, who already hits a win this year. So he's coming in at like 6K on DraftKings, which is something. I think it's something around there. Eckroat is, let's see for sure. Yeah, he's 6,500, and he's still sub 10%, which is surprising to me. But other guy, who's other? Chris Kirk at 6%, or 6%. Let's see some other long or low ones here. Nope. Eric Cole, you're dead to me. He's no longer. Yeah. He's no longer there.
I'll say Billy Horschel in that range. Probably I like a lot.
Man, Sungjae. I took his outright last week. What do you think about that? I was debating. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get Sungjae right. It's going to be the week no one's talking about him, and it's going to happen. And then nothing. He was there all weekend long, and then Sunday happened. And he's like, I'm going to shoot +4 because why would I want to go win the tournament? You know, why would I?
Right. There's something up with him right now. I was going to mention him, but yeah, he seems kind of off. He can't like put 4 rounds together. The irons aren't really where they should be with him. You expect him to kind of be that elite approach irons player, but yeah, he's a little off right now. So I don't think I'll be on him as well. But
all right, last guy I'll talk about, and I'm probably just going to talk about how I'm not on the guy, but right now I'm going against the rule of thumb. I haven't seen much Jordan Spieth, so that means I should probably play him, but he just doesn't play well here. He's just not had great success. He's playing okay golf. He's given me every reason not to play him, in my opinion. What do you think about
him? I can't. Last week was way too much for me. Man's like top 10. Oh, I'm gonna cash that easy, and then he goes 3 birdies, 3 bogeys, 3 birdies, and then he goes like 7 over on Saturday. Takes him out of the tournament. So I don't know. You don't really know with him. He's playing way too inconsistent right now. I think he's just making birdies, making bogeys. It's just kind of sloppy. So I don't know if that's going to trend well here. So,
and then I'm just looking at some long shot top 40s. I mean, Eckroat's plus 140. You got Pavon plus 130. You have Keegan plus 115 that stand out. Hadwin plus 105. Kirk plus 105. Doug Gim plus 105. So you got some pretty good options here. I think I'm going to have definitely a top 40 card. Then I always have my top 20s and my outrights. Let's look at some matchups as we go through. So have you looked at any matchups yet for the tournament?
I haven't, but I'm looking through it now. We'll just go through tournament matchups for now. I'm looking right now. I do like just first glance. I kind of like Fleetwood over Burns, 110s. I don't know who else. Let's see. Harman over Finau. That's kind of a crazy matchup, but
Yeah,
I don't mind Harman over Finau based off just tournament history, honestly.
of course those bastards go Hovland versus JT. Like,
I
come
was
on.
just going to say, I know the two guys I really love. Yep.
It's like, hey, we really, really like both of these guys, so let's put them together.
Yep, of course. They always do that.
Crooks.
That's kind of, I don't know. I don't really like much of these, honestly.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Lowry over Morikawa plus 100.
Yeah, but then Morikawa's going to get a top 10 out of nowhere and then piss me off. So
then you just play him heavy in DFS and you win both ways.
Right. Yeah, I would say
you have
my
Xander
favorites.
versus Homa. Oh man, that's a good matchup. Which Homa plus 115, I feel like, let's get some good value there.
That's very interesting right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you got Rory plus 175 on Scottie. That's absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But like, I would probably say let's bet Scottie there.
Yeah. I mean,
Tom
realistically.
Kim versus Sung J M. Then you got Wyndham Clark, Willie Z minus 120. Willie Z is becoming one of my favorite damn golfers, man. He really is.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty solid on betting him too. Like he's one of those guys you just know when he's playing really well right now. I'm a little upset. I'm happy I got Scheffler, but I did want Zalatoris more, obviously because more of a payout. But didn't really do much on a Sunday. Kind of unfortunate, but he wasn't gonna beat Scottie anyway. So
I don't know. Has he played back-to-back weeks since his surgery? Since his injury?
I don't think so. No.
That's another one of my concerns is him playing back-to-back weeks on there. Maybe something flares up or just a little bit sore, but that's always another reason why you wouldn't play somebody.
Yeah.
That's the main thing in golf. You have to really figure out, because it's always easy to plug somebody in, right? It's always easy to put somebody in their player pool, but try to eliminate people and shrink your player pool. So if you get it right, you absolutely dominate. So always try to find reasons to not play somebody.
Right.
I'm looking at some couple of other matches before we get up out of here. We got, you could do, if you want to just fade your boy Matt Fitzpatrick, you go Cam Davis over him, even though Cam Davis I'm not going to bet.
Jeez.
That was ugly.
Are you doing round matchups now?
Yeah, we can go round matchups.
I definitely like Fleetwood over Spieth round one. I definitely like that a lot. Plus 100.
Do you do the 18-hole matchups or you do the group matchups?
I do 18-hole.
Do you do 18-hole?
Actually, no. I usually do group. Sorry.
Yeah, I usually do the group unless it becomes like Thursday or Saturday or Sunday. Then I do the 18-hole.
Yeah, let's do group then. Fleetwood over Burns. Hovland over Spieth. Love that. Love that. Yeah, just a couple there.
Let's see.
I'll probably dive in more tomorrow, but yeah, that's first glance. Probably eyeing Hovland. Fleetwood always gets off to a good start here. He's usually,
I think one pillar I got for one of my legs of the parlay has got to be Homa over Fitzpatrick. Minus 155. Let's make that a pillar.
Homa over Fitzpatrick. I don't hate that.
And then maybe, let's see. I was looking at Willie Z, but he's not. That's one for sure. JT over Ricky Fowler, maybe something like that.
I like that.
Minus 190. Get those together. I think it's a pretty good parlay.
Yeah, that's solid.
JT over Ricky, and then you got Homa over Fitzpatrick. That sounds like free money if I've ever seen it.
Definitely, until the wind blows. And that just screws us, but.
All right. Anything else you guys are? Oh, if you had to pick somebody, what's the one and done this week?
Jeez. Well, my one and done last week was dead last Fitzpatrick or close to it. So that's cool. One and done this week. I'll have to see. I've taken JT. I don't know if I've done Hovland. Jeez, I don't know. I'll have to dive into that. I don't even know who I have left at this
I think
point.
I'm gonna go JT. I haven't taken him yet.
Yeah, I think I did. That's the thing. I might have to go Hovland if I haven't taken him.
I would probably pick one of those two. If you need somebody a little bit safer, maybe go Xander. And then if you haven't used Scottie, I mean, if you want to use them for a Masters, but in my league, I can you can take live players and stuff. So sometimes you just use those players, those Masters. So
yeah,
if you can't, then maybe wait for Scottie on those Masters. But the one I'm going to go with for mine is JT for sure. So. All righty. So we will get up on out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll try to get this worked out for next week. And if you do have any other questions, make sure you guys hit us up at .bets on Twitter and then at Bet with the Boys on Twitter as well. If you guys want all of our picks, they are in the description below. Make sure you guys join, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. See you guys.